Well, the biggest planetary retrograde of the year is upon us, my friends. We have Mars that is stationing retrograde in the sign of Leo at 7 degrees on December 6th of 2024, and Mars will be retrograde until February 24th of 2025. As you know, Mars retrograde is the second rarest retrograde next to Venus, happening only once about every 2 years. It's like 26 months or so that Mars stations retrograde, and this is the Martian masculine aspect of our psyche. If you have Leo or Cancer placements, this is going to be a highly significant retrograde for you. But also, if you have fixed sign placements in the early degrees, I would say anywhere from 0 to 10 degrees of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. And then anywhere from about 15 degrees to 29 degrees of the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So I'm sure you guys know that Mars in astrology is our action, it's our drive, it's our passion, enthusiasm, sexuality, anger, frustration. It's part of our ego, whereas the sun is one part of our ego or identity. Martian energy is another part of the ego. It's our self-assertion, it's our instinct, it's the instinct to act, it's our individuality, and how we take ruthless action, right? Mars is the god of war. So when Mars is retrograde, we can feel very frustrated. We can feel like we have a lot of inner turmoil. We could feel like we're not making movement, not making progress, or every time we take one step forward, we take 2 steps back. A lot of times during Mars retrograde, anything that we initiate or anything we make plans on aren't going to go anywhere. A lot of times during Mars retrograde, we will initiate or make plans to do something, and then those plans end up not going anywhere. But really, the key to Mars retrograde is it motivates change. It is this brooding turmoil and inner frustration that is supposed to make us change the way in which we do things, the way in which we take action. Mars, of course, does have a connection to anything that is sharp. It represents cutting. It's like sharp instruments. It can have to do with like haircuts, tattoos, or even acupuncture. So any of those things would likely be best saved for a later date. Of course, I'm not recommending you don't get your hair cut until February, but don't do anything super drastic or, schedule a surgery if it can be avoided. Mars retrograde is really like stifling action, and it really creates this pressure that is built beneath the surface, and it's going to feel a bit frustrating. Now, this can be a lot of anger, hostility, aggression from other people and or yourself. It can be a lot of sexual frustration or just inner turmoil and inner frustration within yourself, not necessarily in other people, although this is a collective transit, so we're likely to see it in other people as well. So just be careful and tread lightly when it comes to arguments, disagreements, or any sort of like assertive conversations you might have with people. It spells out brooding conflict, and there's issues in regards to progress and action, energy, vitality, willpower, or our motivation to be able to do things. Things that we are trying to do will likely not be able to get done, or at least we'll have some sort of setback. More or less, you're going to experience hurdles and standstills in regards to things that you're doing. It takes a lot longer for things to happen. So patience is a virtue, especially during Mars retrograde. So just tread lightly, have patience, and don't expect things to move as quickly as when Mars is direct or not in shadow. This is teaching us perseverance, determination, patience, and ultimately conserving our energy. It's about the long term. It's overcoming the challenges and the lack of energy with stamina over the long term, right? So happy Mars retrograde, my loves. Happy holidays, and stay safe out there. It happens only once about every 2 years, so we really got to utilize it and learn the lessons that it is meant to teach us. Look to see where it's retrograding in your birth chart, which house it's transiting, and that will give you more context on how it is affecting you personally, especially if you have natal planets there in Cancer and or Leo and or the fixed or cardinal signs in those degree points. Personal readings for astrology and tarot can be found at the link in my bio. I will see you next time.